How to begin. Dissipating individual glamours and dispelling illusions. Part 1. From Glamour, a World Problem. Master DK. To the man, therefore, who undertakes wholeheartedly the process of occult meditation, I would say with all conciseness, 1. Know thyself. 2. Proceed slowly and with caution. 3. Study effects. 4. Cultivate the realization that eternity is long, and that which is slowly built up endures forever. 5. Aim at regularity. 6. Realize always that the true spiritual effects are to be seen in the exoteric life of service. 7. Remember, likewise, that psychic phenomena are no indication of successful following of meditation. The world will see the effects and be a better judge than the student himself. Above all, the master will know that the results on causal levels will be apparent to him long before the master himself, the man himself, is conscious of any progress.
The individual who is seeking to break up glamour in his individual life, he should be mentally polarized by decision and effort, even if the emotional nature is for him, in any one life, the line of least resistance. Those working in group formation will have achieved a measure of mental focus, but for the purposes of the work to be done, they will focus themselves consciously and deliberately upon the emotional plane through their control of their nature. Workers must therefore have practiced meditation, have reflected much upon the nature of thought and its uses, and must be aware of the light within.
When these 3 stages are established as related activities, habits, and automatic reactions, and when the intention is fixed and the ability to focus has become an almost instinctual reaction, then sound and effective work can be done. To this work must be added persistence and patience. It is not necessary, I might add, to have achieved perfection in the process before starting this work and service. Disciples and aspirants must cultivate the consciousness of cooperation and realization that in service, such as is proposed, they are definitely participating in a hierarchical activity and are therefore in a position to render help, even if they could not alone and unaided achieve the desired results. They can hasten the process by their combined help.
Alignment. Before we begin, let us align as soul and as a group, and see our group approaching Master DK's study. Breathe in effortlessly and easily. See our group moving through the field of lotus blossoms, lining our path toward Master DK's study. We pause at the ivory door, which opens as the Master greets us and invites us in for our contemplative approach to advancing as a discipleship group into the study and dissipation of glamour as individuals supported by this group, We stand around Master DK and see 3 windows filled with light. We stand in silence as he turns and faces the east. Together we enter into this point of light. We enter into a beam of directed, focused light, revealing a greater light and illumining the way to the center of the light, directing our way.
I am one with my group brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love of the one soul pour forth to all. May the energy of one soul lift and aid all. May the thoughts which the soul creates reach and encourage all. May the energy of the divine self be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. Individual formula for the dissipation of individual glamour. How do I select the glamour to begin with for the dissipation of individual glamour?
As the observer, assume the attitude of the soul, and from that high point, look back over a period of time, as if watching the movie of your life, or as the observer, the director of the life watching the play on the stage of life from the balcony. Notice a moment when an event or recollection reveals some response, always related to a feeling activity, especially if you return to think about the situation more than once over time. Feeling of self-pity, not being liked or appreciated, put in a box. Or feeling of upsetness, anger, worry, overcaring, that is unselfish selfishness, as it is based on your individual need or idea of how things should be or what someone should do. Or feeling the need to control a situation, no matter how important or unimportant, without consideration of the whole or those affected. Or feeling the need to be right about a situation without true concern for others. In any of these cases, you recall or can see as the soul, with true mindfulness and in a truly detached manner, the astral nature or common monastic nature of your response. You then see or recall the situation and the glamour. Give it the name you believe to be most appropriate.
Assume the attitude of the observer. Envision your etheric body, your aura, which includes your health aura. Envision your astral emotional aura, and finally, your mental aura, encapsulating your expressed etheric radiance and your place upon the path of evolution, your personality instrument. See the outline of these spheres, these auras, in a unity. Now imagine the interconnections, the elemental and Davic streams flowing, relating, and connecting these auras as a single unified field, and sound the words of Roberto Azignoli. I have a body. I am not my body. I have emotions. I am not my emotions. I have a mind. I am not my mind. Now lift the attention within these united spheres to the highest point, the deepest point of life within your being, the soul, and say, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. Both esoteric healing and the dissipation of glamour require soul focus. So what is the distinction? Discrimination and detachment. The art of the healer is concerned with the lifting of the downward focused eyes unto the soul, the healer within the form. The spiritual, or third eye, then directs the healing force, and all is well. In magnetic healing, the triangle of the head, heart, and ajna center is utilized. The emphasis is on the ajna center as the directing center, using the hands in front of the forehead in a radiatory healing technique. What differs in terms of the dissipation of glamour? As those who are become part of the second seed group of trained observers, dissipating glamour and dispelling illusion, the head, heart, and solar plexus triangle is utilized. The triple light of the soul focused as the soul first on its own plane, then as the soul on the mental plane, and finally as the soul onto the astral plane. Done imaginatively, according to the method of the individual's creative imagination, thus creating a searchlight that is turned upon the astral plane and directed to the chosen glamour, resulting in the dissipation of the fog, the cloud, the distortion, the glamour, eventually revealing the real.
Always select something that is truly present in your life, and knowing that this is limiting you, standing in your way as you progress along the path of probation or path of initiation. Master DK tells us that we all have glamours, and these flows are there until the fourth initiation, when the etheric physical body is no longer in the play or action of your life. Do not let others select the glamour for you. They cannot know how it is truly impacting your life. They can only know how it is impacting them. When you notice what you believe to be a glamour in others, ask yourself first, what glamour or illusion is occurring in my mind? And is there a glamour that I need to focus on to act with pure detachment and true discrimination? Go back and review the list that begins, Know Thyself. Make this a regular practice, as when you move on to work with through glamour, it is essential that you are able to stand a spiritual being and serve as the soul. Always remembering that we have many glamours and it takes time to dissipate them. As you do, more appear. Fear not. You are in service of the soul and inevitably of humanity.
Recognition of the glamour to be dissipated. This involves a willingness to cooperate with the soul in physical, astral, and mental ways in order to aid in the more technical work. Ponder on the implications in this sentence. A recognition of the ways in which this glamour affects the daily life and all relationships.
You might practice for yourself a brief guided visualization as the observer, your soul presence to assist you in this stage of recognition.
The 3 stages of focusing outlined on pages 208 to 210 in Glamour, A World Problem, must be undertaken. The stage of focusing the light of the mind and the light of matter in the mental vehicle. This is done by a process of lifting up and of blending and fusion. And to do this, the activity of the creative imagination is employed. The stage of meditation, which in time brings about the fusion of the light of matter, the light of the mind, and the light of the soul upon the mental plane. The stage in which these 3 lights are realized to be one unified light, a searchlight, ready to be turned in the needed direction.
This is only truly possible when a steady rapport has been established between the soul and the brain. The process involves the capacity of the brain to register what the soul is visioning and becoming aware of in the kingdom of the soul. It involves also a paralleling activity in the mind, for the aspirant must interpret the vision and utilize the concrete intelligent faculty for the wise adaptation of time and of form to the true expression of that which has been learned. This is by no means an easy thing to do, but the aspirant has eventually to learn to express himself in full consciousness in more than one way, and that simultaneously. He begins to learn a triple activity in this manner. This the old commentary expresses as follows. The solar orb shines forth in radiant splendor. The illuminated mind reflects the solar glory. The lunar orb rises from the center to the summit and is transformed into a radiant sun of light. When these 3 suns are one, Brahma breaks forth. A lighted world is born. This literally means that when the soul, symbolized as the solar orb, the mind, and the light in the head form one unit, the creative power of the solar angel can express itself in the 3 worlds and can construct a form through which its energy can actively express in itself. The lunar orb is a symbolic way of expressing the solar plexus, which eventually must do two things. First, blend and fuse the energies of the lower two centers of force. And second, raise these fused energies, and so, blending with the energies of the other and higher centers, reach the head.
This is the reason that we began this focus on occult meditation with meditations 1 and 2 to lift the energies from the solar plexus to the heart and eventually to the heart in the head.
The recognition of two aspects of preparedness, the alignment of the personality, so that the three aspects of the lower nature are seen as constituting one functioning personality. An act of integration in which the personality and the soul are seen also as a unit. This is done through the dedication of the personality to the soul and its acceptance by the soul. These two lines of thinking produce a field of magnetic thought and realization in which all the work is done.
All of the above embodies a teaching and a theory. This has to be wrought out in the practical experiment and experience and conscious activity of the aspirant. Know thyself. Proceed slowly and with caution. Study effects. Cultivate the realization that eternity is long and that which is slowly built up endures forever. Aim at regularity.
A pause in which the whole man braces himself for the work to be done. From a profound preoccupation with the stage of soul contact and initial preparation, he now focuses his attentive mind upon the glamour to be eradicated. This does not involve a consciousness of the glamour and its why and wherefore. It means a turning of the attention of the integrated soul personality to the astral plane and the particular glamour. The attention is not turned to the astral body of the aspirant seeking to do the work. This is a statement of major importance, because in destroying the peculiar type of glamour with which he is concerned, the aspirant or disciple begins to destroy his share in it, that in him which gives him contact with the glamour. And at the same time, he is preparing himself for the group service along the same line. This will not prove an easy task.
Pause. Review. Select a glamour to dissipate. We continue in the next session, reviewing the instructions, expanding our understanding, and then using Master DK's formula, the technique of light, on the third day of distribution following the full moon.
Always close in doing a group orientation by sounding a mantra that the group has selected
I am one with my group, brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love of the one soul pour forth to all. May the energy of the one soul lift and aid all. May the thoughts which the soul creates reach and encourage all. May the energy of the divine self be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world.